Welcome everybody to my video on the book of Revelation. I'd like to look at the four beasts in Revelation and compare them to Daniel's image in Daniel chapter 2. First beast that comes up in Revelation chapter 12 is the great red dragon. And this beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. This is significant because the next beast is the same thing. Here, Revelation 13:1, the beast that comes up from the sea, and this beast has 7 heads and 10 horns as well. In the image of Daniel, we see that Babylon was the head of gold, and Medo-Persia, the silver, Greece was the bronze, and Rome was the legs. And a lot of people put the feet as the Holy Roman Empire. But this is not correct. These 2 legs are the Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire. One is Imperial Rome, the other is Papal Rome. The feet, that isn't until the end when the actual stone hits the image in the feet. This is the end time. Here we have the same thing. Babylon is the gold, Medo-Persia silver, Greece is the bronze. Pagan Rome, people put that as the 2 legs. But we believe Papal Rome and Pagan Rome are these 2 legs. This is the New Europe. Here we have Revelation 13:2 and the beast coming up out of the sea. Notice it was like a leopard, its feet were like a bear, its mouth was like a lion, and the dragon gave him its power, but it was not any of these 4 beasts that we see in Daniel chapter 7. It was like them, but it's different because it's Papal Rome. It comes, the dragon, which is Imperial Rome, it gives the seat to Papal Rome, and that's, Rome was the seat, and Constantine moved away in 335 back to Constantinople, and they left the seat open in Rome, and since then the popes have been sitting there, and so he becomes the head. You see, there's the key, you got to follow the head, and he takes his seat. So this is the beast from the sea. So he's just a continuation of the dragon, but instead of the dragon gives him his power. Here's the beast from the sea again. He looks like a lion and everything like that, and he has a mouth like one, but he isn't. Like a leopard, but isn't, because it's Papal Rome. And notice the 10 horns are on its head. So it's the same head, and it's the 6th head. And this is just the dragon giving his power over Satan, turning it over to religious, the popes, and they're the same. Here we have the beast from the sea again. These are just the 2 legs of iron, the dragon and then the beast from the sea. You can tell that because it begins about the 6th century and ends with the Holy Roman Empire in 1806, 1805. The crowns on the 10 horns are the kingdoms of the Holy Roman Empire. And the Pope, he's the little horn, and he represents the same beast. He's the head, though. And so we have this snake-like critter. And it doesn't matter whether it's 586, 536, or 1805, whatever, he's still the same guy. It's the same thing, just different popes. Second leg, as I said, ended in about 1805. That's the Holy Roman Empire. That's when I think the deadly wound happened. Here we have the 2 legs of iron. As I said, they're the same. And as we look, even the same length. And this is in the eastern and western legs of the Roman Empire. I said, this is the dragon, chapter 12, and this is the beast from the sea, chapter 13. That's how John has them in order. They're identical. They both have 7 heads and 10 horns. So what we're looking at here is, if you look at these two empires, this what really got me is this Holy Roman Empire lasted 1,000 years. And so I got looking at the Roman Empire. If you look when it started, it almost lasted 1,000 years. So these are the two legs of iron. They're both Rome. And this is just one beast taken over from another. The beast from the dragon, and then the beast of the sea takes over from him. Here's Imperial Rome and Papal Rome. Remember, Papal Rome begins with the Holy Roman Empire with Charlemagne in 800 AD, the King of France, who became the first Holy Roman emperor. Then we have the German kings and Austrian kings, and they were all appointed kings by the popes. But in 1805, Napoleon defeated the last of these and ended the Holy Roman Empire. And that's the second leg. And this is to the 6th head. Austria took the field against Napoleon in 1805 for the 3rd time, but were defeated. Napoleon dissolved the Holy Roman Empire. That was it. There was not any Holy Roman emperors after that. And Francis II abdicated his title in 1806. He went back to being the King of Austria. But another significant thing, in 1798, French troops entered Rome and imprisoned Pope Pius VI. And they abolished his temporal power, and which they had held since the 8th century. So for nearly 1,000 years, these popes. And I believe that this is what we have as a deadly wound of the beast, of one of his heads. We see Pope Pius VI was imprisoned and in 1798, and he was taken away to another place away from Rome, and he died in exile. And this is the deadly wound. See, we have to trace the head. He is the head here. The head isn't the king of, it's not the Austrian king, it's the Pope. The Austrian king, he's one of the horns, right? Because the crowns are on the horns. And so Francis II, when he was defeated in 1806, was the last of the Holy Roman emperors. So that's the end of the leg. But it's also the deadly wound on the one of its heads. So it's one of the popes. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. So about this same time, we should have another one having 2 horns like a lamb. Who is this? Now, most people think this beast from the land is America, this 2-horned beast. And the main reason is because in 1798, America was recognized by France as a new nation. And so it pops up. And this happened to be the same time as Pope Pius VI was kicked out of Rome, and he ended up dying in exile. And this was like the deadly wound. So just when this 6th head has a deadly wound, so then the 7th head emerges. And then in 1814, after Napoleon abdicated, Pope Pius VII, his predecessor, came back in, returned to Rome, and so he's the 8th. So we get this scenario here. So here we have the beast from the earth, that it follows the sea beast in time, chapter 13, verse 11. And we see the same thing. The sea beast ends. That's the Holy Roman Empire. And the beast from the earth, America, begins in 1798. We see this beast is from the earth, from an uninhabited area of the world. And it begins lamb-like, and it doesn't say it was a lamb, it just said it looked like a lamb. And, but inside it's just another copy of the Roman Republic, the dragon. It's the land beast is of the same kind as the sea beast, just another beast. So they're all, the 7 heads of the dragon. So they're the similar. America in the end will turn into a dragon and persecute the church. We see the similarities between Washington and St. Peter's. Here we have, if you go to Washington, you'll see George Washington painted up in the ceiling with all these gods, Minerva, and standing into heaven, just like the Roman gods. And all they're doing is deifying their leaders. And it's the same in the ceilings of the, in Rome, they have the Mary ascending into heaven and all these different apostles going up and down, and just the same stuff. Here we see, and I saw one of the heads, as it were, wounded unto death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. As I said, it's just the same, the dragon and then the beast from the sea. In 1798, the popes were kicked out, and they lost their temporal power, and the pope died in exile. This is a deadly wound. But, and it's one of the heads, of the Antichrist. And so this is what it's talking about here. And that deadly wound was healed because, in the same year, up come America. And it's a different head, the 7th head. And then after that comes the healed one. It's the beast back in office again. Now we can look again at the iron legs, and this is once again the dragon and the beast from the sea, and then they merge together. I think the clay here is the beast from the earth, and the iron is the sea beast. So we just have a merging of these two beasts, and this is the same as the woman riding the beast. This is end time. This is chapter 17. The woman riding the beast. So here we have America joining up with the scarlet beast. And these are these two beasts. Here, go to Revelation 17, and here we have the woman sitting on the scarlet beast. That's just the feet. We have this merger. The woman represents the beast from the land, and the scarlet beast represents the beast from the sea. These two beasts emerge and join up together just before judgment. You see, the angel says, "Come and I'll show you the judgment of this woman." This is key because that judgment takes place in chapter 18. And we know it's a commercial Babylon that's destroyed. So this woman here in 17 is commercial Babylon. It's not the Roman Catholic Church. Why we say that is because it's the same judgment. The woman in 17, I'll show you the judgment of the woman. And then in 18 we see, and the Lord God is strong who judges her. 1 hour thy judgment has come. We see this great city Babylon is destroyed by fire. So Babylon is the woman judged. It's the same woman in 17 as in 18. We see this beast that was, is not, and it's even an 8th. And like I said, we have the 2 legs, and then we have the deadly wound. So this is of the sixth head. So then America comes up, the beast from the land, as the seventh head, and then the recovery of this beast from the sea is the eighth. And so that's how he's both an eighth. He was, is not, and yet even is, and goes into perdition. So you just got to follow the head, and that's doesn't matter whether you're here in 536 or in when the deadly wound comes, it's still the same snake the whole time. They all say the same thing. I am the vicar of Christ. I am the vicar of Christ. I am the vicar of Christ. Even after the deadly wound, I am the vicar of Christ. Okay, here we have the woman riding the beast, and this is just the feet part of this scenario. And this guy's got it right. He says the woman is America. If you look here, this head here, and they've got it set up right because the 10 horns are on this head. So this is just the sixth head. And the woman, who's the beast from the land, is just the seventh head. So these two join up together, as I said, these two beasts. And this is the woman riding the scarlet beast. This scarlet beast becomes the eighth, but it's still the sixth, still this guy, it's still Rome. And this woman doesn't sit on Rome, doesn't sit on these 10 horns or this head. It sits on her own pedestal, and but the other part together. But she sits on the 7 mountains. Here's the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. And these mountains are 7 kingdoms, he says. These are kingdoms or empires. So this isn't the 7 hills of Rome. This isn't the Roman Catholic Church. This woman is Babylon. It's commercial Babylon. I believe that is America. Here we have a better picture of it. Here we have America again. Here's a golden cup. Now notice I said she's sitting on 7 mountains, which are 7 kingdoms. Now I'll show you how that is. Here's Babylon, is the top. It's gold, just like this woman has a golden cup. So it's gold. Now if you count up the heads here, go to Daniel chapter 7, you can count them up. Medo-Persia is 1 head. Greece has 4 heads. It's a 4-headed leopard. Rome has 1 head. And the 8th here, divided Rome. The scarlet beast is another one. You add them up, come to how many? 7. So here's how she sits on these 7. Here's Babylon in terms of like the woman, and sitting on these 7 heads. So this is kind of like the G7 today, if you want to look at it. America's ahead of the G7, whereas the EU is kind of controlled by Rome, and that's kind of, I think, what we're looking at here. This 7-head, 10-horned beast. Here's the merger in the feet of the clay and the iron. So here we're back to Revelation 13:4, and here we have once again the beast from the sea, and they worship the beast from the sea, but they also worship the dragon, and this is important because, like I said, you got one. Oops, I better use this one. One snake, and it's only got 1 head. So if you worship, and it's the same as the dragon. So when they used to worship Satan with the Caesars, and then that got thrown out, and it comes up, it began to worship false Christianity. And so with the beast, with Papal Rome. But it's really, nothing's changed. When you worship the Antichrist, you're worshiping Satan, because they're the same head, and that's very important. We're not talking about This is kind of the worship of the Antichrist. Here we have Revelation 13, again, the beast from the sea. It has a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And here we have it. It will continue for 42 months. Power is given to it. This has not yet come. We can't spiritualize this and make this 1400 and some years. Nope. John is looking at the beast from the sea after it's recovered and it's back in power again. It's the same guy. And we can tell because of what he says, blasphemies. Well, what are the blasphemies? He says he's the Holy Father, Vicar of Christ, the Lord God, infallible, has power over heaven and earth, and all kinds of blasphemies, mainly that he's God, takes a seat in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. He's done that. He's been there in the church since 493. He's taken a seat as the Vicar of Christ. And so this is the blasphemies, and he'll last 42 months at the end. So like I say, it doesn't matter where you're at in this serpent, whether it's here, I am Christ, I am Christ, I am Christ. They all say the same thing. Even though it has a deadly wound, it comes back, I'm Christ, I'm still Christ. And even if it's when it gets the rock on its head, it's still saying the same blasphemous statements. This power is just at the end it has, just before it's destroyed. And this is what we're looking at, the New World Order. So this 42 months, this last months is the end, because no man knows the day or the hour. And that's why John has put it in months. We can't know the day or the hour, but we can know the months if we count up to 42. Here is Revelation 13 again. This is still the beast from the sea, right? And but sometimes it goes into the eighth head. Here we have him making war with the saints. Well, this happened during the Reformation, and before that, when during the Inquisition, he's making war with the saints. This is the same head. Doesn't matter where you're at on the scenario. He's still doing the same thing. And power was given over him. It will be, and sometimes it was in Rome at that time. And all the world they'll worship him. So this is kind of John's doing both here. He's showing what this critter has done, but also in the future. And I beheld then, because the voice of the great words which the horn spoke. This is from Daniel, same guy, the beast from the sea. And the beast was slain. Well, we know he's not slain until the feet, right? And at Christ's second coming. But he makes great boasts all the way through. Doesn't matter where you go. I am the vicar, says the same thing. So this little horn, he's an individual, but each one is an individual, but they all say the same thing, because they're all the beast. Every one is an antichrist. There's not one that isn't, because they all take the same seat. They're seated in Rome. They're the sixth head, and it revives and it comes back again. So it and in the end he'll be saying the same thing, and he is today. It's chapter 17. We have the 10 horns. This is in the feet of the image. This is where they get power, 1 hour with the beast, and this is not yet come. This is the authority he's going to have in the last 3.5 years. Okay, we have the head of gold, Babylon, silver, Persia, and then that's Medo-Persia, and then Greece. And here we have the legs of iron, the Holy Roman Empire and Imperial Rome, both lasting about 1,000 years. And then after that, we have this clay is the beast from the earth, and the iron is the recovered beast that had the deadly wound. That's all we have here. And this is the 8th, and this is the 7th, but they merge. And so it's like the 8th. Now here we switch to the dragon and the beast from the sea. So these are the 2 legs of iron in Daniel's image. I said that's the 6th head, both of them. And here we see the dragon passing his baton on to the beast from the sea. And this is exactly what happened. Imperial Rome passed on its power to Papal Rome and its seat, because Papal Rome sits in Rome. And so here we have just the merging, not the merging, but the 6th head and the 2 legs of iron. And as they come up, but you notice here there's no woman sitting on the back of this sea beast, and that's because we're looking at the iron phase of it. It's not until we get to the feet that we get this merger. And so this merger is talking about chapter 17. This is talking about chapter 12 and 13. The beast from the land has not risen up yet. Feet. Here's Daniel chapter 7, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and this is Imperial Rome, the dragon. Here's Imperial Rome again, the dragon, and out of that he gives his power and his seat and everything to Papal Rome, and that's the beast from the sea. So the beast from the earth, as I said, is the 7th head, because it comes up after the wound of the 6th head. And it has 2 horns like a lamb, has 2 powers. It has no crowns though, and it's elected, democratic. It speaks like a dragon, it's imperialistic, same kind as the beast from the sea, which we said was the Holy Roman Empire. And comes out of the land, the uninhabited area, and it causes everybody to worship the first beast and take its mark. I said this has got to be America. America come up in 1798. Can't be anything but. This is the order John has: the dragon, beast from the sea, and then the beast from the earth. Then the feet, the iron, the woman riding the beast. So that's the order. Here's the beast from the land. People depicted as a buffalo. It looked like a lamb, but it doesn't say it was. It just had 2 horns like one. It's America. Okay, here we have the beast from the sea and the beast from the land. And if we remember, the beast of the sea is just the one that took over from the dragon. And it's the Holy Roman Empire, and it starts with the popes. And it came up and it carried on till about 1806, 1805. And then comes the beast from the land, followed it. So we have the 6th here, and the 6th head and the 7th head. And this is the order. But you notice this 6th head, this beast from the sea, it has no woman riding on its back, because it's not until it has a deadly wound and recovers that it'll merge, as in chapter 17. Here we have them all again, the 4 beasts. The dragon comes up first. It has 7 heads and 10 horns. Then the beasts of the sea have 7 heads and 10 horns. They're identical. They're the 2 legs. And then comes the beast from the earth. That's the 7th. And then we have the beast from the scarlet beast. It recovers, and it becomes the 8th. It's a recovered 6th. And these 2 merge in the feet of iron and clay. So here we have these 3 beasts. They're going to be the 6th, 7th, and the 8th head. And we see from John says, and the 7 heads are 7 kingdoms. It doesn't say the 7 heads are the 7 hills of Rome. No, they're kingdoms. And 5 of those kingdoms had fallen, and 1 is. And so the 5 that had fallen are Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece. And the one that is the Roman Empire, which was Imperial Rome. And that is the 6th head. And that merged into the 2nd leg, the Holy Roman Empire, with Papal Rome. And so we see this scenario. And then at the end of that 1,000 years of Papal Rome, we had the deadly wound from the beast of the sea, and one of its heads. And we said it wasn't has to be one of the popes, because it's one of his heads, the heads of the beast of the sea, and that's who he is. And in 1798, that's exactly what happened. He was kicked out, Pope Pius VI, and he died in exile, and this was the deadly wound. And then up emerged the 7th head, America. It pops up. And so right at this same time, 1798, is when America was recognized as a new nation. And then in 1814, Napoleon abdicated, and then Pope Pius VII, the next pope, he came back to Rome. And so here we have the 8th head. And that's what we have. The 8th kingdom is the wound healed. Now the political part of that is when in 1929, the temporal power was given back to the popes. They had land again. And so this is as the kingdom part. And that's what we're seeing emerging now, the new Europe. Here we have this scarlet beast with a woman riding it. This is chapter 17. And as I said, it's just the iron and the clay, iron and the clay. The beast from the earth and the beast from the sea. We have the iron and the clay and the feet. This is just America riding the beast. And you say it's America, and notice here the horns. I've said this before, the 10 horns. That's Rome. It's on the 6th head. America is the 7th head. And this beast is the 8th head. So here we have, the America is not sitting on Rome. That's why it's not the Roman Catholic Church. It's sitting on the 7 mountains. We'll look at that. Here's the European Union. This is a new part of the New World Order. New Europe looks like a Tower of Babel. Interesting, it was from up above. Who would ever build a building that looks like a bow and arrow? And here it almost looks like a crown. Well, God knows what he's doing. He's trying to show us here. This is the rider of the white horse, who has a bow and a crown on his head. This is Nimrod. This is the beast, the Antichrist. He's building up since 1957. They've been building up this new Europe, and here we have it. In it's the new EU. Here's it's the kingdom of the beast. It fits with the feet, the 10 horns. And there's 12 stars, but we know it's going to be 10. Look what happened with Brexit. Everybody thought England was in there for good. Nope. Because when it comes to sovereignty, certain countries won't go for it. But when they are 1 hour with the beast, these will become 10. And they'll lose their sovereignty. They'll give it up. 1 hour with the beast. And so they'll join up. And here we have Papal Rome, or Babel, I should say. And compared to they're very similar. Because one is a prophecy of the other. Here we have the beginning of this Babel, because in 1957 in Rome, they began the European Economic Community, just small 5 nations, and now look at it, it's many nations, and it's a new Europe, a revived Roman Empire. Okay, here we have the new Europe, some depicted as this woman riding the beast, and most see the beast as a secular antichrist, as a political leader, and here's the Roman Catholic Church riding it. But this is not correct, because the beast is the scarlet beast of Revelation, or of 17. So if we go with that as the image here, then this is Papal Rome, and so it's the same beast as we had coming up from the sea. It had the deadly wound, but it's recovered. This is the political part of it, and the woman riding it is still got to be the beast from the earth, and that's America, the U.S. So this is the new world order. This is in the feet. Here we have this in Revelation 17:3, and I saw he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast full of blasphemous names. Well, that's the beast, the Antichrist, having 7 heads and 10 horns. But this woman was sitting on it, and this has got to be America, and not the Roman Catholic Church, because this woman is judged, and she's judged in chapter 18. People say, oh, this is the new Europe. Nope. This is the U.S., the beast from the land, and this is the beast from the sea, Rome. Here he is. Here's this. We've got to remember the head. That's the key. You always watch the serpent. Don't look at its tail. Look at its head. He is the 8th head. He was the 6th, and he had the deadly wound, and it recovered. Who died? It wasn't Francis II that died. He kept on living, but the Pope died. So you got to know he's the head, and he's the beast. And all these are the horns and the heads, and these are all these kingdoms. So they're all joined together. They get power from him. This is the European Union, all these trading partners. Here's where we go back to the beast of the land, and we can see I said America is the beast coming up from the earth, because it rose after the beast from the sea. It is the beast from the sea is the 2nd leg. The dragon is the 1st leg. The land beast is in Daniel's image. It's the clay. And we said America was a land beast. America, therefore, is also Babylon. And this is the clay, is the woman riding the beast. Here the 2 beasts have become friends. And just the beast from the sea and the beast from the earth. And they are going to merge together. See the beast from the land, it's just the clay. And the beast from the sea, it's just the iron. Here we have the popes merging with, coming with Biden, the new president. This should be a better fit. Whether it's Biden or whether it's Trump, they're both 2 horns of the same lamb-like critter, and the beast from the earth. And so they're going to join up with Scarlet Beast, who we said he's been the beast from the beginning, the little horn. Here we have him in addressing the Senate, the U.S. Senate. You know, the Caesars used to come and address the Roman Senate. And here he is addressing the American Senate because he's King of Kings. This was in 2015. And that's when Biden was vice president. Now he's president. So here's this merger. This is, you know, I think this is America. This is Rome. The little horn, the beast, is also the little horn, the Antichrist. The woman rides the beast. That's the clay and the iron mixed. The papacy is, you know, a lot of assume the papacy is the woman of Babylon, but can't be both the beast and the woman. America, on the other hand, is a rich nation. America pictures like Jeremiah 51. Babylon has been a golden cup in the hand of the Lord, intoxicating the earth. And the woman of Revelation has a golden cup in her hand. You know, Revelation 18 talks about the judgment of a rich nation. And all the merchants of the earth wail over her because no one buys their merchandise now. So this isn't the Roman Catholic Church. If that went down, nobody would, all the merchants wouldn't weep and wail. They wouldn't stand afar off because they don't trade with her anyway, but they do trade with America. Here we have these two beasts again emerging, as in here. It's in Psalm 137. Notice here it says, remember, O Lord, against the sons of Edom. And then he says, O daughter of Babylon, you know, who art to be destroyed. Talking about the sons of Edom who said, raise it, about Jerusalem. And here's these two critters again. I'll show you. Edom means red. And that's, Edom is just another word for Rome. And it is, it's the scarlet beast. And here, all of a sudden, in the same passage, it talks about the daughter of Babylon. Oh, that's America. And there she is. Here are the two beasts, Edom and the daughter of Babylon. Here's another picture, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. That's Zechariah. She's set on her own pedestal. Same woman we see in 17. She's adorned with pearls, precious stones, gold, scarlet. And in 18, Babylon, the great city, has pearls, precious stones, gold, scarlet, purple. Identical, because they're the same. They have the same judgment. Chapter 18. We see the smoke of her burning. In a single hour, her judgment has come. All the merchants weep. And since no one buys their cargo anymore. So this is the judgment. The angel said, I will show you the judgment of the woman. So it can't be two different women. It can't be the Roman Catholic Church. It's got to be America. Here we have the daughter of Babylon prophecy. You know, come, no throne, take up the millstone. This is what happened to Samson. Remember, he gave his information out to Delilah, and she had his hair cut, and he became weak, and they put out his eyes, they put him in chains, and they made him pull a millstone. And this was going to happen to Babylon. She's called the Queen of Kingdoms. She said, I'll sit a queen forever. But we see in Revelation 18, I sit a queen, and I'll have no widow, and I'll never see mourning, but 1 hour, 1 day, it happens. So here's the final end, the final slide, and here we have all these, you know, the gold, the silver, and the bronze, just like Daniel has. And we have the two legs of iron, as we were talking about, and then finally the feet, this composite beast. And so in this whole image, we also have a kind of a composite of the woman riding the beast. As I said, the gold on top, she's riding the 7 mountains and sitting on 7 mountains. And then the feet part. I see this like we got kind of a G7 here. America's ahead of that. And we got the EU with 10. And that's kind of the feet part. So we got this composite here, the woman riding the beast. So I hope this will help you. And if you need information, more information, I have a book out on this, and you can read it. Should be out in early spring. Thank you.